2023 inauguration special here on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Omoite. Yeah, there is so much to talk about. But before we continue with the program, earlier this week we played host to schoolgirls from St. Philip's Academy here in Abuja. I remember Saturday was a Children's Day. So they came over to Citizen FM for a program. But in the course of that program, we caught up with a few of the students and we had an interaction with them concerning the inauguration of the new president and what their expectations are. This is what they said. They spoke with our editor, Aderayo Omotosho.
My name is Vivo Inka, and this is what I want to tell the newly elected President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We, the children of Nigeria, expect you to update education in our country. We also know that women's rights should be highly sensitized among, especially in the rural areas, and we also expect that your administration will encourage reach every nook and cranny of this country, so everybody will know that yes, we have a president who cares about the people and their needs.
My name is Ugu Chiwendo, and I'm from St. Philip's Academy. I first start with a congratulations to our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I expect from him to give us a better future. We most especially children, to give us further education. Every time when I'm traveling, I see all those beggars on the road, and I always feel pity for them. And I hope it to touch your heart to come to their lives and make their life good. Thank you.
My name is Jane Ako, and this is for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want him to rule this country, Nigeria, so that everything can go down, so that all the kidnapper and robber will finish this country. Thanks.
My name is Achibi Precious. This is what I expect from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He should reduce prices of things so that we students we can get things easy for us to further our educations. I want him to make a good health care facilities in all states, local governments and communities. And I also want him that he should be God-fearing so that God will guide and protect him to create a better future ahead for us in Nigeria.
We have traveled very far.
inauguration special. Yes, before this music, you had the students there who came around on Saturday for the Children's Day. The expectations from the president coming in. And we move on to security issues. Our second guest is already standing by, and his name is Commodore Abayomi Balogun, retired. Commodore Abayomi Balogun is a former director of training, Nigerian Air Force headquarters. Thank you for joining us on the program, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure being here, and congratulations to Nigeria.
Congratulations to Nigeria. So let's start this way. Is the Nigeria's security challenge insurmountable?
Yes, it is surmountable. This is a new administration, so we expect them to go back to where we started from and then correct the mistakes that we make in the past. And I'm sure the security challenges are surmountable.
Okay, yes, I know that you, in your days in the military, you actually took part in a lot of operations both within and outside Nigeria, in Sierra Leone and Liberia, for example. So when we're talking about insurgency and a lot of these things, you know what we are talking about. Now, the outgoing administration has injected a lot of resources in manpower, military hardware, and others. Yet, the security challenge persists. What exactly are we missing here?
For me, it's the approach. Like you said, we fought in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Somehow it's a different war. But war is war. It is when you get there, whatever your enemy gives you, you must have the ability to overcome your enemy and then conquer and go home and thank God. But then, what we have in Nigeria right now, terrorism, banditry, all facets of insecurity. But like I said, these are things, they are challenges, they are setbacks, but we must be able to overcome. That's our training. When you face challenges, devise other means of conquering them. And I think what we have on ground based on the equipment and manpower, we can still succeed, but we only need some creative thinking. Critical thinking that will get us out of where we are. Because the president, the outgoing president, sincerely in 2019, talk about national security strategy that intends to change the way we do things, the strategic, the security architecture, and came up with that paper called National Security Strategy. What did we do with the paper? That book was 80-page book, very lengthy but very insightful. We threw the book by the side. If we had sat down and said, what did the president want? What is the new approach? Surprisingly, for 4 years, we never opened that paper or the book to really see what was prescribed in the book. If not, we will have overcome. So what I will advise is that we go back to that national security strategy. Thank God it's still the same APC, and the current manifesto that I read is almost about 80% the same with what General Muhammadu Buhari presented to us. So my advice is go back into that book. It's no longer a military affair. That's what the book said. It is a war of everybody. It's an all-inclusive thing where everybody is carried along. It's a situation where MDAs, NGOs, everybody, including traditional rulers and religious leaders, are supposed to be involved. Because insecurity or terrorism, insurgency, is not the military responsibility only. So that's what I think we should do. Go back and rejig our security architecture, and we shall surely conquer.
All right. In the course of our attempt at tackling insecurity over the years, some people have even called for a decentralized security system. And that's not talking about the police now, even the military. But hey, how easy, or should I say, how complicated is this?
It can be done. Yes, you must still have the central command and control system. But you can, segment your forces and say, You take care of here. You are specialists in this area. Then at the end of the day, the main control is still there. You must have command and control whatever you do. But you can segment your forces to tackle some specific challenges. And these forces must be trained, must be equipped to tackle such challenges. So it's not that you are going to break up the military. No. Like you have the special forces now in the armed forces. The army, the navy, the air force have various form of armed force, special forces. What are these special forces? They are like elite forces that other countries have. So what do we need? Instead of the air force having its own navy, army, bring them together. They become our specialized force who goes into difficult terrain, and they will come out. So it's not that you are breaking your armed forces, but you are segmenting and using the right equipment for the right job. And it can work if we sit down and think clearly about it. Right.
All right. Okay. Still talking about security. Over the years also, we are not seeing a lot of collaboration between the Federal Security Network and the state-level apparatus. For example, the Omotekun and the Hezbollah in the north and some of these things. There's still this suspicious relationship between the two. Is it not something that could be resolved?
It can be resolved. And that's why we need to engage the services of critical thinkers. Critical thinkers are the ones who sit down and look at the pros and cons of every situation. They don't only consider the good aspect, they consider both the positive and the negative. And the security architecture can be restructured, like the president said in that paper. And then it comes down to the Ministry of Defense and then Defense Headquarters. This issue, when it was not working in 2000, after the NNS 2019 was released, it was not working. And then in 2001, the Minister of Defense started the campaign and said all military agents, all the MDAs and all the security agencies must come under one umbrella. And there was a 2-day workshop which was attended by past service chiefs, past IGs, ministers, and what we agreed then, or what was agreed, was that everybody will come back together as a team. You know, a multi-agency coordination center must be created. But then in 2021, what did we do after all that? There were communiques, there were resolutions, we slept on them. We don't do anything, we don't execute anything. Good ideas will come and then we just sleep it. After the 2001 that nothing happened, another committee was created to modify, to reform the armed forces and reform the Ministry of Defense. We did that. What did we do? After that, in the same 2021, another committee was to implement those decisions. We still did not do it. For me, all our challenges have been specified. The guidelines have been provided. We only need to get people who really think, not that you want to give somebody a job. Select or look for those, we have them in the borders in Nigeria. Look for those who have the knowledge, who have the ability to think out of the box, who know that you can do this rather than doing this and get the same result. To sit down and fashion a way forward for this new administration, and all Nigerians shall be happy.
All right, thank you so much, General, for your interventions. It's always a pleasure listening to you. Thank you so much, Air Commodore Abayomi Balogun, retired.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you very much, and may the Almighty guide our leaders rightly.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Amen. Yes, that was Air Commodore Abayomi Balogun, retired, former Director of Training, Nigerian Air Force Headquarters, giving his insight on security expectations, issues of security, and the way forward as a new administration is coming in. The program continues in a moment. Please don't go away. Still the 2023 inauguration special on Citizen FM 93.7.
Wake up. Reach out. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Citizen FM Abuja.
Nigeria again on the verge of history. It's inauguration of the 16th president of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be given that honors in the next couple of hours. In fact, not hours again, anytime from now. The Eagle Square is bubbling as dignitaries are sitting in anticipation of the historic event. Foreign dignitaries are already waiting, party chieftains, military officers, politicians, youth, children, and so many other things. We can see that the delegation from the United States of America has arrived at the venue, and so many other delegations are already there. And so, talking about inauguration, the inauguration of the President of Nigeria is a ceremony to mark the commencement of a new 4-year term of the President. During this ceremony, which we are going to see today, the President takes the oath of office. The inauguration takes place for each new President, even if that President is continuing in office for a second term. The first inauguration of President Shehu Shagari took place on 1st of October 1979. That was the Independence Day. Since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999, all inaugurations have been held on May 29th. The most recent presidential inauguration was held on May 29th, 2019, when President Muhammad Buhari resumed office for his second term. The recitation of the presidential oath of office is the only component in this ceremony mandated by the Nigerian Constitution. The Chief Justice typically administers the presidential oath of office. Since 1999, the oath has been administered at 6 scheduled public inauguration by 5 Chief Justices. The ceremony has been held at the Eagle Square here in Abuja. And so that's how it's been. And for some historical background, we have, apart from the one that was held outside Abuja, that was the first one, 1st October 1979, which was on a Monday. That was the inauguration of President Shehu Shagari. It was held at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. And the Chief Justice then, Justice Atanda Fatai Williams, administered that inauguration oath. And also the second inauguration of President Shehu Shagari, still in Lagos at the Tafawa Balewa Square, was also administered by Justice Atanda Fatai Williams, who was then the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And in Abuja, that was the first inauguration of the Fourth Republic, which was held at the Eagle Square on the 29th of May 1999, which was a Saturday. It was held in the Eagle Square here in Abuja, and the oath was administered by the then Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mohammed Uwais. And the fourth inauguration, which was the second inauguration of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, was also held on the 29th of May 2003. It was a Thursday. It was held inside the Eagle Square, and the oath was also administered by the then Chief Justice Mohammed Uwais. On the 29th of May 2007, we had the fifth inauguration, which was the inauguration of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. It was held inside the Eagle Square, and it was conducted by the then Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Idris Kutigi. And on the 6th of May 2010, the first inauguration of President Goodluck Jonathan, which was called the Extraordinary Inauguration, was done inside the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, and it was conducted by the then Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Aloysius Katsina Alu. And we also had the second, who was the Chief Justice of Nigeria then. We also had the seventh inauguration, which was the first inauguration of President Muhammad Buhari. It was held on the 29th of May 2015. It was a Friday. It was held inside the Eagle Square. And we had Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, who was the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and also inside the Eagle Square 2023. We are expecting the 9th inauguration of the President of Nigeria. So that's how it's going to be, and events are gradually picking up at the Eagle Square. But while we wait for the official commencement of events at the Eagle Square, let's give you some background information about our president-elect. The president-elect was born Bola Ahmed Adekunle Tinubu on the 29th of March 1952. He spent his early life in southwestern Nigeria and later moved to the United States of America, where he studied accounting at the Chicago State University. He returned to Nigeria in the early 90s and was employed by Mobile Nigeria as an accountant before entering politics as a Lagos West senatorial candidate in 1992 under the banner of the Social Democratic Party. After the then head of state, Sani Abacha, dissolved the Senate in 1999, Bola Tinubu became an activist campaigning for the return of democracy as part of the National Democratic Coalition movement, popularly known in those days as NADECO. In the first post-transition Lagos State governorship election, Bola Tinubu won by a wide majority as a member of the Alliance for Democracy. 4 years later, he won re-election to a second term. After leaving office in 2007, he played a key role in the formation. Yeah, what a beautiful peace song there by Oyeka Unweno. Peace in our land, peace in our country. It's still the 2023 special edition of our inauguration special here in Abuja. Inauguration of the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Back to the Eagle Square, the events are picking up and security agents are really having a hard time controlling the crowd. It's so massive out there, and getting people to obey the protocols have been very hectic for the hordes of security personnel around there. But then the events will have to go on. And before we start the official program, let's also still talking about the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's listen to his speech here when he won the APC ticket after he hit very highly contested primaries.
First step taken, second step taken, and we are moving on. You are the great people of this country that have built, that must join hands to build. Mr. President, I'm sorry that I'm keeping you waiting too long since yesterday, but this is the time to take a revenge. You have taken me too long too sometimes. I only sympathize with the mother of the nation. Whatever punishment Mr. President had this afternoon, we ask for it together when we say vote for APC. So you all, take this opportunity to tell Nigerians that we are not the barbaric, blind human beings they think we are. They're setting us against each other. When you were born, you did. The faith is in the mind. Your neighbor. He didn't say we are